you in the club?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Kaylee, and today I'm going to show you how to make Jigglypuff out of Play-Doh. For this project, you'll need Play-Doh, of course, a water bottle, coloring pages, these 3 tools which you can find in the baking section at a craft store, a rolling pin, a cutting board, and plastic wrap. For the first step, you'll want to roll out a nice big layer of Play-Doh in any color, and then cover that layer with saran wrap. Make sure that you roll out enough Play-Doh that it can cover your whole design. And smooth out all the wrinkles on the plastic wrap. Also, you want your Play-Doh to be kind of thin because it'll be easier to cut that way. But not so thin that it tears or rips. So now my Play-Doh is definitely big enough, so I'm going to go ahead and trace around the outside of this design. And to do that, I'm using this tool. It's kind of a spiky wheel tool, and it makes little holes in the paper. When you're tracing this first layer, you want to kind of go a little bit outside of the black line if you can, because we want this to be big enough, and also because you can always trim away this part later. So once you've got it traced out, you can use this tool, which I call the blade tool, it's not actually sharp, to go ahead and cut out the Play-Doh. Just follow that same dotted line that you just made. Then once you've cut it out, remove the saran wrap and pull away all the extra Play-Doh. Now our first layer is done. So all of the other layers that we make are going to be piled on top of this one. Next, set this layer aside and go ahead and roll out some pink Play-Doh and cover that with plastic wrap. And smooth out all the wrinkles. Then lay your design on top again and trace it out using the same steps. First with the wheel tool, and this time I'm following the black line more and not going outside it so much. And then once that's traced out, lift off the paper and go over it again with the blade tool. Then you can tear off or pull off all the saran wrap and pull away the extra Play-Doh. And then take your first layer and lay the pink layer on top of it. And don't worry if some of the orange shows through at this point, because we're going to go over the whole design with a black outline, and sometimes that covers it up, and we can always trim it away later. Now I'm using my fingers to smooth out the edges, and this also helps press the layers together, but you can also smooth out the edges with this ball tool. So next up, I'm going to work on Jigglypuff's big blue eyes. So for that, I'm going to start off with white, and just roll out the white Play-Doh. And you can either trace out the shapes again, like I did before, or if you can find a cookie cutter in a circle that's about the same size, then you can use that. So I'm going to do that for the white part. So there's one eye, and here is the other one. Okay. And now I'm going to find some blue Play-Doh for his eye. Okay, so I found the blue that I wanted, And I'm gonna make really tiny little balls of Play-Doh and then just plop them on his eyeball. And the way I like to make eyes is to just smooth them out with the ball tool, because this helps to spread it out in exactly the shape that you want to. For the last step for his eyes, I'm going to add a little white ball for the reflection. Okay, and next I'm going to roll out a little bit more pink Play-Doh so that I can make his little curl right here. And then once you have the pink Play-Doh rolled out, just lay the design again on top of the Play-Doh. And I'm going to trace out just this little curl right here. And then cut that out. Take off the plastic wrap. And then just layer this little curl on top of his head. So the curl actually goes a little bit above his head, like that. So it looks like I put his eyes up a little too far. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those down. So maybe I should have done the curl part first, but that's okay. Very tricky removing eyeballs. Yay, it worked! Okay, I think I've got his little curl right where I want it. Okay, so now I'm gonna make his ears and his little smile. And then we can start on the black outline. So for Jigglypuff's ears, he has black ears on the inside and a little gray triangle. So I've rolled out some black and gray Play-Doh. And I'm going to cover that with saran wrap and just trace it out. Okay, and now I'll cut out those black triangles, pull away the plastic wrap and the extra Play-Doh, and then put those on his ears. Okay. So I've got the black part of his ear, and now I just need to roll out some gray for the little triangle inside. Okay, and now he has his ears and his eyes, and I'm going to start working on his mouth, which is just going to be a thin black line. So now I'm just going to make the little curlicue on the top. So I'm first outlining this little shape with black. And then I just lightly press it in to make sure it stays where I want it to. And keep going around the whole shape. And this is how I make the little noodles. I just kind of roll them with my hand until they're thin. It looks like he has a jelly bean on his head. So he has kind of like one little swoop right here, and it's actually not connected right here, so I'm going to trim that part and try to move it down. There we go. Now it looks more like a hair swoop and not a jelly bean. And now I'll just keep on making more little black noodles and finish the outline on Jigglypuff. And don't forget to spray your design every once in a while with some water so that it doesn't dry out. Okay, so here's how Jigglypuff looks after all of his black outline is done. And as a last step, I'm just going to come in and trim the orange pieces that are showing underneath. And then he'll be done. Alright guys, and here is how Jigglypuff looks when he is all done. Isn't he cute? If you guys want to see more fun Play-Doh tutorials like this one, just let me know by clicking on the thumbs up. And let me know in the comments below who you'd like to see me do next. This is Kaylee for DCTC, and thanks for watching!